Years later, old classmates reunited, and over several reunion drinks, Mia turned to Liam, a glint of nostalgia in her eyes. "Liam," she began, "do you remember why back then, whenever I struggled, I always sought you out for help with my homework?" Everyone laughed, waiting for Mia to blush. But she calmly replied, "Have you ever wondered why I always stayed in my seat and never went out to play?" The bitterest thing in life isn't loving someone who doesn't love you back. It's when both of you secretly harbored feelings for each other, but neither dared to speak, only to realize it when it was too late. So, why do so many choose to let opportunities slip away rather than taking the initiative to confess? This video, which I'm previewing on TikTok, is essentially an unofficial survey, asking you all to share why either the other person or you yourself hesitated to make the first move. There are, indeed, many reasons, each person with their own story. Let's listen to some of the reasons I've compiled. Reason 1. Fear of being judged and societal expectations. I didn't make the first move because I was afraid of being judged, influenced by societal expectations. I was going to initiate a conversation with him, but then I thought, if he really had feelings for me, he would have done it a long time ago. He wouldn't have left me waiting like this. People still whisper that if a guy doesn't make a move, it means he's not interested. His silence is the answer, isn't it? It's true that, according to traditional Asian views, women are typically passive, while men are expected to be the initiators and take charge of relationships. In the past, girls who took the initiative in love were not well regarded. Outsiders might gossip, mock them as the post seeking the buffalo, a derogatory phrase for a woman pursuing a man, and label them with unflattering terms. Girls also don't want to confess first because they believe men enjoy the thrill of the chase. If you humble yourself first, you might be seen as easy. Therefore, confessing feelings is often implicitly reserved for guys. Girls become hesitant to express their feelings. No matter how much they like someone, they will typically wait passively. Instead of voicing their emotions, they choose to love from afar, proudly, as a way to maintain their image. Reason 2. Fear of rejection. Second reason for not taking the initiative could be the fear of rejection. I never confess first because if, by chance, I'm rejected, it would be incredibly painful. The fear of rejection is one of the oldest and most primal psychological phenomena. Evolutionary psychologists believe that this fear originated from our hunter-gatherer days when we lived in tribes. Being ostracized, unable to survive alone, was akin to a death sentence. Biologically, each of us carries a deep desire to belong. Most of our fear of rejection can stem from past trauma and pain. According to psychologist Dr. Thorne, childhood experiences profoundly impact this fear. Specifically, those who were emotionally rejected by their caregivers in childhood grow up with this fear. Whether it's romantic rejection, job rejection, or failure, they constantly seek validation and acceptance and are particularly sensitive to any signs of impending rejection. Reason 3. Catastrophizing thoughts. A third reason could stem from catastrophizing thoughts, extreme skepticism about the other person, and imagining every possible worst-case scenario. For instance, you might not take the initiative because you're afraid of being exploited. What if he or she doesn't actually love me, but agrees just to take advantage of me or toy with my feelings? According to health expert Michelle Porch, people obsessively focus on the dark side of an issue because they have genuinely experienced bad things in the past. Catastrophizing thoughts are a way they cope with past sorrows, which alter their worldview and make them believe the world is full of bad things, that no one can be trusted, and that if they take a chance, they will get hurt. Reason 4. Insecurity. And finally, sometimes it's simply insecurity born from the smallest things. This could be insecurity about finances, appearance, education, or career. In reality, everyone has some level of insecurity about different aspects, both men and women. When we see people around us, we start comparing ourselves. This is known as upward social comparison, the process of evaluating ourselves against someone we perceive as better than us. When we view this negatively, we easily fall into the trap of positional bias, where we tend to compare ourselves to those in higher groups while ignoring those in lower groups, leading to negativity and fear, making us hesitant to confess our feelings. I once saw a TikTok video where a guy confessed, "Today I lied to her, saying I had family matters and couldn't go out, simply because I was broke." We often think it only takes about 3 seconds to send a caring message to the other person. Oh, and we forget to consider what the other person might have gone through all day. Everyone has their own stories, their own problems. Finance and career are two of the biggest pressures for men in current life. It's truly a sensitive issue that weighs heavily on them. They feel insecure, but perhaps they are also striving to build a truly happy life for the woman they love. For girls, too, perhaps they compare themselves to others or feel that they are not good enough for their loved one, leading to insecurity. But that's not a valid reason to stay silent. It should be the motivation to create a better version of yourself. If someone rejects your feelings, it always stems from some reason. Maybe the timing isn't right, maybe the two of you aren't compatible, or maybe you're not yet ready yourself. Who knows? In the future, when you are good enough and truly love yourself, you might meet someone who is worthy of your affection, someone who loves both the beautiful things and the ugly fears within you. We also need to understand that a romantic partner isn't everything, and certainly not the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of our lives is happiness. If you place too much emphasis on the outcome, you'll find it difficult to be happy. A lasting relationship comes from a balance of effort and contributions from both sides. At the very least, send signals so the other person notices. Confessing isn't about demanding a relationship, it's simply a way to express your true feelings. It's as simple as that. So, how do you feel now? Do something about it so you don't look back later with a lifetime of what ifs and if onlys.